if you're having sex solely for his release, how do you change that and actually come to trust him again? So it's become obligation sex solely for him. And I would say pastorally, when sex goes wrong, this is probably the story I hear the absolute most, is it's become all about him. It's an obligation to her. And then she shows up to church or she comes to a marriage conference and a guy like me talks about how important it is to have sex. And so she, all right, so she has to double down, and yet it's not enjoyable in any way. What would be your message to her?
Well, that makes me sad to hear because, God created sexual intimacy and pleasure for both the husband and the wife. And so there, again, is something really kind of destructive about that, where the husband isn't honoring his wife. And so there obviously needs to be conversation. She can't suffer in silence. She needs to talk about that with him. And if he's not willing to, kind of engage in that, to get some professional help.
Yeah, to me, it sounds like a lack of friendship. Actually, they're not on the same team. I always talk about intimacy as it's a mutual pursuit of mutual pleasure for the purpose of mutual connection. And it sounds to me like they are not both pursuing toward pleasure for both of them. It's just pursuing his pleasure now in this moment, which is actually, we can see it as a failure of intimacy, but to me, it's actually a failure of friendship. Like I wouldn't